There she is.
Mary Kay, everything you know about Deshaun Watson's shoulder and the likelihood he plays on Sunday, just empty the notebook. What do you got?
Well, I think that it's a little bit iffy at this point. It was a red flag in my mind that was raised on Monday when he wasn't out there. So I think he really truly is day to day. They have to see how it goes. I just saw something come across Twitter that we've known all along that it was a contusion, a bruise, and I just saw something from Tom Pelissero saying it's a rotator cuff bruise. That's more information than we have had to this point. I don't think that changes much. We've known all along that it was a contusion. So we'll have to see. I think he'll be limited when he goes out there tomorrow. And it's just hard to know exactly where this is going to land on Sunday. Yeah. But certainly he's probably not going to be 100% this weekend.
Mary Kay, let's go through the timeline here a little bit of what's happened, because there's been some weird comments, right? Like we get the word that he's not practicing. You spoke to him on Friday. He told you he was expecting to play, and then Sunday he can't in the morning. Stefanski on whatever that was, I think it was Monday, said, hey, he was cleared by the doctors. He didn't play, which seemed like a weird thing for him to say. And then later in the week, Berry cleared it up, but then he went on to say, oh, yeah, I expect Watson to play next week. Have you been surprised by any of these comments?
No, I think it's hard. I think it's a hard narrative to kind of pin down a little bit, because you are dealing with a quarterback that sort of has to self-report a little bit on how he's feeling and whether or not he thinks he can actually go out there and function the way that he needs to. So I just do think that you don't always say the right thing and it doesn't always come out right. I do really believe that everyone was optimistic that he would play in that game. I know he was optimistic when I talked to him on that Friday. He 100% said that he really felt that he would play. And it was genuine. He wasn't making that up. He really 100% felt he was going to go out there and be able to play against the Baltimore Ravens. So I don't think anybody was trying to, hide anything. I don't think it was gamesmanship.
Right.
I think it was a matter of he thought it was going to recover quicker than it did.
Mary Kay, the trade deadline is 21 days from today. Do you anticipate them making any moves, whether it's in the running back or maybe tackle position? Do you anticipate them making any moves by the deadline?
You know what? I know that Andrew Berry loves to make a splash. He loves to make moves at the trade deadline, especially if you think this team is going somewhere. You're going to want to do everything that you possibly can to be as good as you can be for the home stretch. Not just the home stretch now. There's still obviously 13 games left. But, he loves to wheel and deal at the trade deadline. If they really believe they're a Super Bowl contender, and they'll know more about that in 3 weeks before the trade deadline happens on October 31st. If they see something out there that they think that can help them, they'll go get it. There are things that I think they should be doing. I think they should look for a receiver, and a good one. Again, they'll know more about their pass-catching core over the next 3 weeks. But I still think they can add to that pile. I think they should at least try. Things haven't gone the way they thought they would yet. I mean, really, when you think about this, they have one touchdown pass to a wide receiver this season, and that's Amari Cooper. Yeah. That's just not enough. And there are extenuating circumstances, but they've got to beef that up.
Yeah, I mean, so far the Elijah Moore thing looks like a bust. It's too early to give up on it. People were going bananas for him, 1,000 yards, all kinds of crazy right out the. But
G. Bush.
To me, the biggest thing, Mary Kay, is a left tackle. It's unfortunate, but I think we realize now Jed Wills is not really good at football. He might be good at another sport, and maybe he could play that. But unfortunately, he's not good at football. At least that's how I see it.
Curling.
And so, I think they got to try to replace him. Garrett Bowles of Denver, Trent Brown of New England.
New England.
I would get aggressive on a left tackle. Do you think they see it that way?
Well, you must understand that he is under contract for a guaranteed $14.175 million for next year. It's guaranteed.
Mary Kay, he looks like Shrek in that picture. I can't have that. We can't have him playing left tackle.
Well,
I'm sorry.
The other thing, you know what else is oddly enough, when I was hunting around for some statistics,
yeah,
Jed, according to ESPN analytics, and I would like to find out just a little bit more about this. But according to ESPN's analytics, he is the number 9 player in the NFL this season in terms of pass block win rate. Is that a shocking stat to you guys?
Yes.
Blows us away
Yes.
because
PFF has him as like one of the
PFF
lowest
has him
graded.
almost at the bottom.
Well, there's a vast disparity in those things.
Yeah.
I want to dig into that a little bit more because, again, the ESPN rankings have him as a top 10 pass blocker in the NFL right now. So that I find very, very interesting. It needs to be explored a little bit more. Both he and DeWand have struggled in the run blocking realm, but actually DeWand is doing really nicely in the pass blocking realm. He's 16th in those ESPN analytics. And again, Jed is 9th. So I have to explore that a little bit more, but certainly the Browns believe that Jed needs to play better. He knows he needs to play better. I don't know if that's not an area that I think that they're going to go out and try to trade for someone knowing that they've got that big salary for him next year.
Yeah, they're strapped with it. I think the bigger mistake was, and you can't undo it, was guaranteeing the 5th year.
Right.
I hadn't seen enough out of that. I don't know why they went ahead and did that. And now you're right. I mean, that's a $15 million mistake that you have to eat. They're not in a position to do that. They're just not. They're stuck with him.
Well, I'll tell you what, though, when you think about it and you look at the salaries for left tackles, $14.175 million, if someone is going to start for you and be serviceable, is not an exorbitant amount of money for a left tackle.
But
It's
it is
really
if
not.
you have to pay another one $14 million to come in and do the job that he was supposed to do.
Right.
Now you're paying $28 million for that position, and that you can't win that way.
Right. So, I mean, they do have to figure out what they want to do. I actually think DeWand will end up over on the left side at some point. So, these are things to look at. Do you move him to guard? Do you move him to right tackle? These are things to explore. And again, the bye week came pretty early, probably too early to make a major change at that position.
Right.
And again, you can look at those Ravens statistics all you want, but you're talking about a 5th round rookie starting that game. So it almost doesn't matter what happened in that game. Not that it doesn't matter, but you kind of have to throw some of that stuff out the window or take it with a very big grain of salt.
Right. Where are we health-wise elsewhere? I know Pocic was dealing with something. Bitonio was dealing something. Anything to add on those guys or others?
Well, I don't know if you saw my story from yesterday that Joel Bitonio walked out on crutches last Wednesday, and I've been trying to dig around and figure out what's going on there. And so far, I really haven't gotten any real good concrete information. Still kind of working on that one. Everyone's been a little bit mum on that, and I don't know if we'll show up tomorrow and he'll be limited or if he won't be there. I don't really know yet. I'm still working on that. Ethan Posick, again, watched him walk out of the locker room with a very large full knee brace on his right knee. He also has a chest injury. They're all day to day. Now David Njoku played in the last game with the burns, so I'm guessing he will play again with the burns unless he had some kind of a procedure over the bye week. I don't know. None of those 3 guys were out there. The 4 players that were not out there yesterday were Deshaun, Ethan, Joel, and David Njoku. So we'll have to see what happens when we show up on Wednesday.
Mary Kay, we look at DTR. Obviously, if he has to play and Deshaun Watson doesn't play against the 49ers, it'll probably be a better outing in terms of what they do. If he does not play well that game, do you foresee any other veteran quarterbacks coming in here, or are they fine with P.J. Walker as their third guy if DTR is not performing well?
Well, that's another area that I would be looking at, knowing that Deshaun has something going on with the shoulder. I would be looking at another veteran quarterback. I mean, you didn't think that you were going to have to press Dorian Thompson-Robinson into service that early. You thought that you were going to be able to let him learn most of this year from the bench. And if he had to go in here and there, that he was going to. But now that you know that Deshaun has a shoulder injury, or at least a shoulder bruise, maybe not, something structurally wrong in there. But you just don't know. I mean, what if Deshaun gets out there and he can't throw the deep pass and he doesn't have his full faculties or whatever they're saying? I don't know that you can count on DTR. I would probably almost go with PJ Walker at this point because you don't have Nick Chubb. You don't have the running game that you thought you were going to have. You don't even have the blockers in front of him that you thought that you were going to have right now at this point. So I think, someone with a little bit more experience might be wise, but I just don't know yet what their thinking is on that.
Mary Kay, what is your overall pulse on the team right now? Obviously coming off of a Baltimore loss, having a bye week, and now they got San Francisco. What is the pulse of this team? Are they eager to get back out there? Obviously, it's a huge opponent. It's like a measuring stick. What do you think they think about this?
Well, I'll tell you what, things change from week to week. Either the sky is falling or the outlook looks bright. And if they get beat by the San Francisco 49ers and stack 2 losses together at home when they're heading out on a 5 out of 7 road swing, the picture is going to look a whole lot bleaker than if they can go out there and somehow beat a really good 49ers team. And that's why you get a Deshaun Watson, so that you can go win this football game. And they've got the defense, they've got enough talent to go out and beat the San Francisco 49ers. But right now, I don't feel super confident in them winning this football game. I think in part because of just what I saw them do to the Cowboys the other night. And, the Browns, they don't have Nick Chubb. They don't, Jerome Ford, I think, is going to be a good back. But remember, he missed most of training camp. And, I think he's still kind of finding his way again a little bit more. Kareem Hunt's still finding his way. Elijah Moore hasn't worked out as a runner. So the strong running game that you thought you were going to have right now, that just hasn't really been there for them. So, I think it's tough. Look at that schedule right there. They've got these long road trips. I think a lot is riding on this game on Sunday, because if you can beat this team, it really changes the outlook and the vibe.
Well, you aren't kidding. I mean, that's exactly what the way
I
San
think we're
Francisco
panicking
worked.
a little much.
No. What she said was
2-2. The schedule's. Mary Kay, I know they go on the road, but I feel like everybody's so doom and gloom right now. And
the positive one.
I mean, come on. They're playing the Seahawks, the Cardinals. I like those 2 teams are that good. Let's go. Win some freaking games. Injuries are not an excuse. We can't give up on guys after 4 games.
Seahawks are a very good team.
We all thought this team was good, and now we all think they're crap 4 games in. Let's go. Deshaun Watson, he's going to play this week. We're going to go. Let's play. Let's go.
Okay, I agree with you, but the reality of it is, when we thought they were a good team, Nick Chubb was healthy and Deshaun Watson was healthy.
Well, teams lose running backs. That's part of football. Let's go. Suck it up.
You lose your best running back.
You think that Devin A-Chain has been the best running back in football this year? He got hurt. They're going to cry and whine?
If
they're going to go out and play.
every team in football lost their best running back and best quarterback, they'd be where we are.
Are you comparing Devin A-Chain to Nick Chubb?
I'm saying Devin A-Chain is the best, has been the most impressive back in the NFL this year. And that's a fact.
Over CMC?
It's not a fact. Not a fact. It's an opinion.
That is
whatever.
An opinion. I'd still take McCaffrey.
The guy has averaged 12 yards a carry.
Change it.
He has 10 touchdowns.
And you call us prisoners of the moment?
I'm about to say.
Now the sample size isn't so small.
What did I say? This year.
Right.
Has he been one of, if not the best back this year?
4 games.
Yes.
Yeah,
I know that. I got him on my fantasy team. I know
Has he
that.
been one of the best backs this year?
Yes, he has.
If not the best so far this year.
Yes, he has.
Sorry, Mary Kay, I'm rambling. The point is, every team has injuries. You suck it up and move on. Let's go.
So
Can't be whining about it.
So
I don't have a question. That's it. Go ahead, Tyvis. Ask her a question. I'm out of control.
I was going to say that, there are other things right now that still need to be going a lot better than they have gone so far. The running game hasn't been good. The passing game has not been good. So there's plenty of room for improvement. If they can get those things rolling a little bit, then they'll be okay. And as you mentioned, they have so many more easier games than having to play the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, let's face it, they've got some games coming up that they darn well better win. If they have to play against Gardner Minshew, in Indianapolis, they should win that game. I mean, they should beat the Cardinals. There's a lot of teams on the schedule yet that they should beat. And the good thing for them is, if we're going positive here, is that the AFC North is wide open. The Pittsburgh Steelers did them a tremendous favor this past weekend. by beating the Ravens. And it's not like the Ravens are running away with it at all. It's kind of all bunched up there. I mean, it looks like Joe Burrow is finding his way. So, these teams are all going to kind of, cancel each other out and beat up on each other a little bit. And when they get to the end, I still think it's going to be sort of a fight to the finish, but it's still what anybody.
Mary Kay, where's Cedric Tillman? I mean, we saw a lot of him. I like what he was doing in the preseason. I get his preseason. We haven't seen him. Marquise Goodwin is only running one route, deep and straight. And we've been seeing David Njoku a lot, helping out, pass blocking, chipping, doing things up front. It just seems like there's a little lack of the passing game, and we don't have very many guys out in the route. You see Harrison Bryant more than Njoku. Haven't seen Cedric Tillman, big body receiver. It just seems like, those guys have just been kind of taken out of the playbook a little bit.
Well, I think that they probably broke every single thing down at the bye, and they had to pivot a little bit. They had to make some adjustments, with no Nick Chubb, no Jack Conklin. They've had to do some different things. You have to leave David Njoku in to block a little bit more, as you mentioned. You just have to do some things a little bit differently. But they broke everything down and put it all back together, even though it was early to have to do so. So now let's see what they have in store. Let's see if they can find a way to get Elijah Moore on track. One of the ways that I would do that, I have no idea if they'll do this or not, but I would kind of dial him back from the wide back dual role. I would just let him get some success in the passing game. Just try to find some routes that he feels really comfortable with. Go back, look at his rookie year tape with the Jets, find out why he was able to catch 5 touchdown passes in his last 5 games before he hurt a quad and missed the last 5. Like, what was he doing? What were those routes? What does he like to do? Get him some confidence, get him some success. Then when you have that under his belt, then run him on some jet sweeps and some other things. But for right now, I don't know if I would be using him in the running game too much. I would find other ways to do that, maybe more Pierre Strong. They've got to change some things up, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure that we will see some new wrinkles and some nuances when they get back out on the field.
All right, Mary Kay, thank you very much. We appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.